everybody, welcome back to the channel. I understand what it is like to watch all of the most gorgeous makeup tutorials on YouTube and to see them and to be like, oh my goodness, their makeup looks so good. How do I do it for myself? And then you realize it's all high-end products. And that is so disheartening because we want to try the high-end products, but we just don't have it in the budget, or we just can't justify spending that much on makeup right now. I understand. And that is why I'm here for you. Every single product that I have, I bought at Walmart. Seriously. So follow along. You guys will be set. Let's get started. For primer, I'm going to start with the Peach Slices Snail Rescue All-in-One Oil-Free Moisturizer. I like it because it's a nice hydrating water-based moisturizer. And I like to prime my skin with skincare, honestly. Which I think is becoming kind of a trend, honestly. This one feels really light, but just make sure my face is all nice and hydrated and taken care of before we go in with any products. Now, to start with our foundation, it's actually not going to be a foundation. It is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. It's a nice glowy product. I've just started using it, and I really like it. It's definitely very glowy, and so if you don't like that, you may not like this product, but I like a glowy base. Sometimes, not always, but for fun. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand and then put my buffing foundation brush through it, kind of warm it up on my skin, get it into the bristles, make sure it's all nice. I don't know. My mirror is down here, so if I look weird, like I'm looking somewhere weird, it's because I'm looking at my mirror. I like to focus the product towards the back of my face and then move it forward so that I don't overdo the product in the places where I have more creases. This is a very light coverage product, so if you're more in the mood for something fuller coverage, you might like a more full coverage foundation. I like the Maybelline Super Stay foundation for that, but for just kind of an everyday kind of fun, just a little bit of glow, especially in the summer, I like this one. I'm going to give a little more product. This is a little bit new for me, this particular product, because, yeah, I just haven't used it a whole huge amount before. So I'm still trying to decide, like, how much is too much, how much is just the right amount. I do put a little bit on my earlobes and a little bit down my chin and neck just to kind of blend everything together. Okay, I think that's good for today. I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Instant Age Eraser. Oh, I forgot to say, the shade, I always forget to say the shade. The shade that I use is 0.5, which is fair. And then I like to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I use the shade 95. And I put that on my skin too, because I find that it's easy for me to overdo this particular product. It's a nice concealer. I like this more of as an under eye brightener. And so I have it in like a shade that is definitely lighter than my natural skin tone. I am focusing this under my eye and on my eyelid. Okay. I don't currently have a ton of blemishes. I do have a little one. Now, I don't really recommend this shade as a blemish concealer, but if we're being so real, that's the only concealer I currently have in my makeup collection right now. I'm a little bit minimal. My collection is growing, but I love trying new things, so I would be so down to try a new concealer. I just haven't yet. Okay, cool. We'll call that good. I'm going to use the same brush, I use this brush for all of my cream products, honestly, lately. But we're going to go in with a cream bronzer, which is the Milani Cheek Kiss cream bronzer in the shade Hey Honey. It's a good shade for me. Just a little bit darker. I'm going to buff it into my hand a little so I don't overdo it, but just a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. So it looks like a pretty natural tan. I'm going to kind of tap it on my cheekbone, get a little bit into my hairline, and down my temple. Get a little more. Just want to make sure it's all blended and that it's really blended in my hairline. So, go. Gotta keep pushing my bangs out of my face. Cute. Next thing, we're gonna go into the pressed powder. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Translucent powder. I'm going to use a different powder puff, but I do like to use a powder puff for this step, and I love that it has a mirror. Put a little bit on the top corner of the triangle. I like the triangle shape ones because it makes it better to focus the product under my eye, which is really where I like to set it. So I'm going to set it underneath my eye, a little bit on the side of my nose, so that it's all nice and blended. We'll do the same on the other side. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set all the places where I put concealer. So everything else can kind of just stay loose and be a little bit glowy. A little on my nose, my chin. Definitely don't want too much. I'm going to go in next with brows. I'm using the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Medium Brown. I love that there's a spoolie attached to it, which I feel like a lot of brow products do come that way already, which is a really nice touch. I just like to put all my brows, all my brow hairs like in place. And then I'll take this, and it has a triangular shape pencil, which is unique, but I like to use the thin end to add in some hairs if in any like kind of empty looking spaces. It makes the more thin hair-like strokes. And then I like to take just kind of the thicker end, or just kind of the whole triangle really, and just add lightly in a little bit of volume, just to kind of fill in the space as a whole. Then I go in with the spoolie again, just to kind of help blend everything, make it look a little bit more natural and as hair-like as we can possibly make it. To get a little bit outside of my brow line, just a smidge. Okay, next step is I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer. This one is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Bronzer in the shade Forever Sun-Kissed. And for my powder products, I like to use this extra large powder brush. Now, it does seem a little bit daunting, especially when you're going in with like a color, like bronzer. But if you use kind of a light hand, and honestly, this brush, because it is so soft, it kind of helps to diffuse the product and blend it nicely. On the other side, kind of like to buff it into the cap. So I don't put too much product on. Be sure to try and keep the bronzer kind of on the cheekbone. It is a little harder with a big brush like this, but you know, do your best. Maybe put a little bit underneath. Then I like to take it down the neck a little bit too. Maybe a little on the ears. Help it all look a little bit more natural. Next for blush, we're using the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush called Always Crushing, or that's the shade name. And I have recently discovered that I really like using this one for blush too. I feel like it's more beginner friendly than like a smaller blush brush because it helps diffuse the product so nicely, helps it look a little bit more natural. Yeah, I just think it makes it easier. But I like to start focusing the product in the back, maybe a little bit on my temples, and then kind of bringing it down so that I don't put the majority of the product on the apple of my cheek, because I find that that makes me look a little bit clown-like, which is not what I'm going for. If that's what you're going for, then great, but that's not what I'm going for, at least not for a day-to-day. And I do a little bit on my nose, maybe through the nose onto the cheek. Especially with it being summertime, it gives that nice little kind of sun-kissed, cute little look. We're going to move on to eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow in the shade Rose Water. So this is a nice little quad. I feel like it's catching the reflection, but it's got nice rosy shades. I'm going to start with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, kind of a round fluffy eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to use this second color, this light brown. You can also use your bronzer if you would prefer. And I'm just going to kind of buff it, swirl it around in the crease. Don't be afraid to get a little bit on the brow bone too. And even connect it down here. Kind of create that triangular shape. I'm going to take kind of a more flat, fluffy eyeshadow brush like that. And I'm going to take this darker pink shimmer and put that on the outer corner of my eyelid. Even into the middle a little, but not too much. Then I'm going to take this kind of champagne-y color and I'm going to overlap that pink sparkle shade in the middle a little bit and then work it down to the inner corner of the eyelid. And even kind of blend it through the crease just a little bit. Help to blend everything together. Very nice. And then you can take what is left on here, maybe even like pinch it if you want it closed, you know, more close. I don't think I'm going to, but just put it underneath the eye just a little bit, very gently, in that inner corner. Helps to highlight everything. This is something I've recently started doing. Just helps to brighten the eye a little bit. I'm going to take this flat angled brush like this, and I'm going to do a shadow liner with this dark, it's kind of a black, kind of a charcoal, but it's got a gold sparkle in it, which is really fun. And then I just like to be really gentle because we definitely don't want to put too much. Just put whatever you like, but I just like a very thin line right up next to my lashes. And I don't go all the way into the inner corner, just kind of stop where my lashes naturally stop. And like, you can wing it a little bit. I don't personally like to. But if you feel comfortable and you would like to, go right ahead. Okay, and with this, be very careful, use a very light hand, and just kind of go underneath. Stopping kind of right when you get to the middle. Just adds a little bit of dimension. And I like to use kind of just what's left on the brush. So I don't end up using too much product. But it helps to add some dimension to the eye look, which I think is looking really good. Okay, we're gonna go in with mascara next. I like the Milani Highly Rated Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara. This is also the only mascara I have in my collection currently. Again, I'd love to try more, but I am building my collection slowly, which is an absolutely okay thing to do. I feel like there are so many influencers, and I don't think ill of them at all. I would love to have a big makeup collection and to try all the things, but it doesn't always make sense for us to do that. And for me, I'm trying to honestly just build up my collection slowly, trying out a few new things at a time. So right now, I only have one concealer, I only have one mascara, I only have one lipstick. Like, we build our collection slowly. But I'm going to use this one. And then you guys just put on mascara however you guys like to. Because I feel like everybody has a different technique. I like to kind of start at the base and wiggle my way up to the ends of the lashes. And then after that, I kind of just wing it, depending on what my eyelashes kind of need that day, I guess. Or I guess need. When it comes to makeup, is there really a need? Well, yes. But like, I mean, do you need it to look beautiful? No, you do not. I know that sounds so like corny to say you don't need makeup to be beautiful. It's true. It's very true. But that doesn't mean we can't like it and have fun with it and play with it. I've always believed that makeup should enhance what you already have, not hide your natural face. I'm going to put a little more on the right side to kind of try to match the left side. For lipstick, that one lipstick I was telling you about is the Revlon Cream Lipstick in Candied Rose. I feel like this gives me such a nice vintagey rose kind of look, which I really like for me. But you guys do whatever color, whatever lipstick you like. That's the thing is with these makeup tutorials is they're really versatile. You can do whatever feels right for you guys to do and whatever products you guys like. That's what I do. Whenever I follow a makeup tutorial, I always just try to use whenever I follow a YouTube tutorial, just trying to use what products I have before going out and buying new ones and seeing if there's a way I can do it with the products I already have. The next thing is I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Opal. I like this one as a top, especially for this lipstick. I keep it in the middle. of the lip. Nice. I think that's the perfect amount. Now, for setting spray, this is a really fun one. If you don't want too much glow, skip this part. But this is the Hard Candy Glow On Lock setting spray, and it doesn't look like much now, but watch this. Look at that, so shimmery. So I'm gonna spray it, probably keep it kind of more to the sides of my face. There we go. So I don't overdo it. And yeah, that's the finished look. Thank you guys for hanging out today and playing with some drugstore makeup today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you feel more confident in yourselves, not because you have makeup on, but because we learned new skills and we spent some time together. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, we can hang out a little more. I have some more makeup tutorials on this channel that you can follow. And I hope you have a great day. Stay beautiful. Bye.